Imagine, a tiny young girl wakes up one morning in a giant palace. Outside her window, the rain falls softly over London. She is only 18 years old. She has no freedom, no real friends, no normal childhood. But before the sun sets that same day, she will become the most powerful woman on earth. An empire stretching across continents will now belong to her. India, Canada, Australia, parts of Africa, all under one crown. Her name was Queen Victoria, and this is the story of the shy girl who changed history forever. Victoria was born on May 24, 1819, in London, England. At the time, nobody expected her to become queen. She was very far from the throne, but fate had other plans. When Victoria was still a baby, her father died. She grew up without him. Her mother became extremely strict and protective. Victoria lived under something called the Kensington system. This strange system controlled almost every part of her life. She could not walk downstairs alone. She could not play with normal children. Even while sleeping, someone watched her. Imagine growing up like that. No freedom, no privacy, always controlled. Victoria later wrote that her childhood was rather melancholy. She often felt lonely, but deep inside, she had a strong spirit. And one day she discovered something shocking. At age 12, Victoria was looking at a family tree during a history lesson. Suddenly, she realized she might become Queen of England. After studying the chart quietly, she whispered, "I will be good." Those 4 words would define her life. In 1837, King William IV became very sick. Early one morning, messengers rushed through the streets of London. They arrived at Kensington Palace. Victoria was sleeping. The servants woke her immediately. Still wearing a simple white nightgown, the young princess walked downstairs. Waiting for her were important royal officials. Their faces were serious. One of them bowed deeply and said, "Your Majesty, King William IV was dead. Victoria was now queen. She was only 18 years old." People doubted her immediately. Many believed she was too young, too weak, too emotional. But they were wrong. Very wrong. That same day, Victoria made an important decision. She would rule alone. Not through her mother, not through powerful advisors. For the first time in her life, she finally had freedom. And she loved it. People were surprised by her confidence. She worked hard every day, reading government papers for hours. She met politicians, ambassadors, and military leaders. And slowly, Britain began to trust its young queen. But there was one problem. Victoria felt alone. Being queen sounded magical, but in reality, it was exhausting. Everyone bowed to her, yet few truly loved her. Until one man entered her life. His name was Prince Albert. He was Victoria's cousin from Germany. At first, Victoria was unsure about him. But when they met again in 1839, everything changed. Albert was intelligent, calm, kind, and handsome. Victoria fell deeply in love. In fact, she loved him so much that she proposed to him herself. Because as queen, royal tradition said she had to ask first. The two married in 1840, and for a while, Victoria was happier than ever before. Together they had 9 children. Yes, 9. Their family became famous across Europe. In many ways, they looked like the perfect royal family. Albert also helped Victoria become a stronger ruler. He advised her politically and supported new ideas, science, and education. Victoria trusted him completely. But happiness does not last forever, and tragedy was waiting. Being queen was dangerous. Several people actually tried to kill Victoria. One man pointed a gun at her carriage while she was pregnant. Another attacked her in public. But Victoria shocked everyone. Instead of hiding in fear, she appeared in public even more. Crowds admired her bravery. The people of Britain started seeing her not just as a queen, but as a symbol of strength. And during this time, Britain itself was becoming incredibly powerful. The British Empire expanded across the world. Factories grew, railways spread, ships crossed oceans. Britain became the richest and most powerful empire on earth. And Victoria stood at the center of it all. That is why this period became known as the Victorian Era. Then came the darkest moment of Victoria's life. In 1861, Prince Albert became seriously ill. Victoria stayed beside him day and night, but nothing could save him. Albert died at only 42 years old. Victoria was devastated, completely broken. She wore black clothes for the rest of her life. For years, she rarely appeared in public. People began criticizing her. Some even wondered if the monarchy would survive. The once energetic queen became quiet and withdrawn. But grief changes people, and slowly, Victoria found a way to continue. As the years passed, Victoria became more than just a queen. She became a living symbol of the British Empire. In 1876, she received a new title, Empress of India. At that time, Britain controlled huge parts of the world. Millions of people had never seen Victoria. Yet her face appeared on coins, stamps, newspapers, and statues everywhere. To many people, she represented stability and power. But the empire also had a darker side. Many countries suffered under British rule. Resources were taken, cultures changed, people fought for freedom. Victoria herself sometimes showed kindness and concern, but she also benefited from a system that controlled millions. History remembers both sides, the glory and the suffering. Victoria lived a very long life. Her children and grandchildren married into royal families across Europe. Soon, she became known as the Grandmother of Europe. Her family connections linked kings, queens, and emperors from many nations. Ironically, years later, those same nations would fight each other during World War I. But Victoria never saw that war. By the late 1800s, she had become old and tired, yet the British people still respected her deeply. She had ruled longer than any British monarch before her, for more than 63 years. Imagine that. Most people could not even remember a time before Queen Victoria. She was not just a ruler anymore, she was an era. In January 1901, Queen Victoria became very weak. Her family gathered around her bedside. The old queen who once ruled half the world could barely speak. On January 22nd, she died peacefully at age 81. Across Britain, people cried openly in the streets. An entire age had ended. Factories stopped working. Church bells rang. Even countries far away mourned her death. Because for millions of people, Queen Victoria had always existed, and now she was gone. Queen Victoria began life as a lonely little girl trapped inside a palace. She never expected to rule, but destiny chose her. She survived political pressure, assassination attempts, heartbreak, and unimaginable responsibility. Under her reign, Britain became the most powerful empire in the world. Her name became part of history forever. Even today, people still speak about Victorian London, Victorian fashion, Victorian culture, the Victorian era, all because of one woman, a shy princess, who became a queen and then became a legend. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe for more fascinating history and storytelling videos. And tell me in the comments, would you want to live during the Victorian era or not?